Marijuana is legal for medical reasons in Arizona and more than 24 other states, but currently only 11 states allow its possession and use for recreational purposes. They include the neighboring states of California, Colorado, and Nevada. Arizona could join them if voters approve Prop 207, the marijuana legalization initiative. Lisa James is against it.
Prop 207 is 17 pages of sweeping changes to Arizona law that will be virtually impossible to change for the foreseeable future. And the devil's in the details on here. So even for those people who might support recreational adult use or decriminalization, Prop 207 is not the way to do that.
We reached the spokesperson in favor of the proposition by Zoom audio.
What we're seeing across the state is folks realize that the option is, do you want to sell marijuana in a store where someone is checking an ID, or do you want it to continue to be sold on a street corner? And our opponents seem to think that there's an option 3 where the product goes away forever and it disappears. That's not an option.
Among other policies described in the proposal, Prop 207 makes it legal for adults 21 and older to grow no more than 6 plants at home. It would place a 16% tax on marijuana sales to be divided among college districts, law enforcement agencies, and other groups. And it would also permit local governments to ban marijuana and control aspects such as zoning and licensing. Smart and Safe Arizona supports Prop 207. As of July 2020, the group had raised about $3.5 million, mostly from 3 marijuana corporations. Recreational supporters were not successful with another proposition in 2016, but this time they are more confident.
My husband's a cop and thinks that it's a waste of his time to be looking at marijuana offenses and to arrest, convict, incarcerate folks for something that is legal in 3 of our neighboring states.
Arizonans for Health and Public Safety is against Prop 207. It has collected less than $150,000, a fraction of the pro 207 side.
My brother started using marijuana in high school, and he has spent most of his adult life in and out of jail, prison, and rehab. I realize that that is not the case for every marijuana user, but what I can tell you is that that's marijuana from back in the 80s. This is the marijuana today, and it's impacted our family. You hear a lot of arguments of, oh, let me do what I want with my body, or it only affects me, but it doesn't. It's affected our entire family.
Another proposition just as divisive deals with education. Proposition 208 is known as the Teacher Salaries and Schools Initiative. It would impose a new 3.5% tax surcharge on incomes exceeding $250,000 for individuals, or $500,000 for a couple filing jointly. The funds raised would be used to hire and pay teachers and support staff and help with mentoring and training. This 2020 proposition comes on the heels of 2018's Red for Ed movement, which led to rallies and more funding for teachers.
And they were going to give us a 20% raise. And it turned out it really wasn't a 20% raise. It was a raise on the amount of money that they were paying us back then, and they refused to give any of that money to our ed support professionals who were standing right there next to us.
Those against it include Governor Doug Ducey and the Southern Arizona Leadership Council.
If you take a look at Proposition 208, it will increase the funding, and there's a lot of questions about the amount of funding that will actually make it to the school districts, but it targets purely salary structure and really does not hit or impact the kids and the students. And it is solely focused on K-12 and not the entire education pipeline.
According to Ballotpedia, Invest in Education has received nearly $600,000, similar to what its opponents have raised. Both sides say voters should take a close look at the stakes here.
People say that, oh, well, you didn't go into it to become rich. Well, no, I didn't, but I didn't go into it to go into poverty either.
We believe we need a comprehensive solution that will be sustainable on the funding source, and that's where our concern with this funding measure is.
207 and 208 are statewide propositions, but residents throughout Arizona may see additional local ballot measures.